If your design process begins with setting up materials, lighting and camera, you're starting from the end. D5 Render 3.0 flips this process. First, the concept with AI, then a quick test with D5 Lite, and finally, photorealistic visualization in D5 Render. Hi, it's Monica from IDAC, and today I will show you how to use this workflow to design better and faster. Let's start. This is the kitchen model we'll be working with. At the beginning, it's always a good idea to find some inspiration and decide on the style of the interior you want to design. For that, I will use a new tool from D5 Render called D5 Lite. You can install it by opening D5 Launcher, going to the Workflow tab, Lite, and clicking Install D5 Lite. After the installation, a new D5 Lite toolbar will appear in SketchUp. To connect the model, I click the Connect to D5 Lite icon. After a moment, a new window opens. In the top left corner, I can choose between two modes, AI mode and Render mode. First, I select AI mode. In this mode, artificial intelligence helps find the design style for the project. In the bottom panel, I choose the style. First, I select the category Residential Interior and then a kitchen style. For example, Vintage Kitchen. In the next settings, I can decide whether the AI should be more creative or more accurate to the model. I can also upload a reference image for inspiration or write a prompt, which is a short description of how the visualization should look. This time, I will only select the style. I click Generate and wait. After a few minutes, 4 kitchen ideas appear based on my SketchUp model. I can generate visualization in many different styles to quickly find the design direction that works best for the project. If I want more control over the style of the visualization, I can describe it using a prompt. I generate the visualization and wait for a moment. After a short time, 4 photorealistic proposals appear based on my prompt. Now I know the style I want for this kitchen and what materials to use. I go back to SketchUp and start creating materials for the different elements of the model, such as the cabinet fronts and the countertop. At this stage, I also adjust the scale and orientation of the textures so they look realistic and fit properly on the surfaces. The model is ready for the next step, creating the visualization. I can create it again using D5 Lite, this time based on the model and materials prepared in SketchUp. I don't change any settings. I simply click Generate. After a moment, 4 photorealistic visualizations appear based on my model and the textures from SketchUp. You can see how accurately D5 Lite follows the SketchUp model. At this point, you might be wondering, if AI can generate such good visualizations, does it still make sense to create them manually? I think it does. So let's move on to the next step. Now we can create a visualization, this time without using AI, in 2 different ways, using D5 Lite or D5 Render. So what's the difference? D5 Lite in render mode is a simplified version of D5 Render. The settings are much simpler, which allows you to create a quick preview visualization of the project. D5 Render, on the other hand, is designed for creating final high-quality visualizations. In version 3.0, we can first create a visualization in D5 Lite and later, after the client approves the concept, transfer the scene to D5 Render and refine it into a final render. Let's see how it works in practice. I open D5 Lite and this time I choose Render mode. The best way to work is with 2 windows open, SketchUp and D5 Lite. When I navigate the scene in SketchUp, the camera automatically updates in D5 Lite as well. At the bottom of the screen there is a panel with the settings. On the left side we have the Effects tab, where we can adjust the contrast, saturation and the temperature of the visualization. In the environment we can load an HDRI map which controls the daylight in the scene. We can change its intensity or rotate it to adjust the direction of the light. Here I can make the scene brighter or darker and turn automatic exposure on or off. The next tab is Material Editor, where we can create and edit materials. I will come back to it in a moment. First, I will add 2 artificial lights using the Light Editor. I choose a spotlight and place it in SketchUp. the light automatically appears in D5 Lite. Just make sure Live Sync is enabled in SketchUp. I adjust the intensity and temperature of the light, and then copy the light to the other LED fixtures in the ceiling. Next, I add lights for the LED strips under the cabinets. It's a very nice thing that I can move and edit the lights directly in SketchUp. I adjust the light intensity and temperature, and that's it. We can also use the asset library, but for now it mostly contains nature and characters, so I will not use it in this project. It's time to refine the materials. In D5 Lite, the material settings are simplified compared to D5 Render. To edit the material, I select the Paint Bucket tool and click on the material in the scene. I select the wall material. In D5 Lite, the texture that I previously added in SketchUp appears under Base Color Map. By changing the color here, I can change the overall look of the texture. I set the color to white, so the texture keeps its original appearance. Now it's time for the cabinet fronts. Here I can change their color. To achieve a more photorealistic reflection effect, I adjust two parameters. I set specular, which controls the reflection intensity to 1, and roughness, which controls the surface matte level to 0.3. This makes the light reflections more visible and the material look more realistic. I apply the same settings to the wooden upper cabinet fronts. For the molding, I slightly brighten the color and increase the reflections. I want the marble to reflect more light, so I set specular to 1 and roughness to 0.1. This makes the reflections sharper and more visible. The next material is the metal on the kitchen faucet. I change the material type from the default general to metal, and then set roughness to 0.15, which gives sharper reflections. For the floor, I set specular to 1 as well. In the roughness, instead of using a simple value, I can load a map, which creates a more realistic effect. I add a black and white roughness map for the floor. Then I set the map intensity to 0.5 to get subtle light reflections on the surface. Now let's check the induction cooktop material. I slightly decrease roughness so the reflections become clearer. Next, I move on to the oven. For the metal handle, I also reduce the roughness. For the other oven materials, I increase both specular and roughness. These settings give me the most realistic result I'm looking for. For the glass material both in the oven and in the window, I can adjust the transparency or the reflection intensity. In this case, the settings imported from SketchUp already look good, so I will not change anything here. Now it's time for the last material, which is the emissive material. It is used in the ceiling spotlights. I change the material type to emissive and then adjust the light intensity and color temperature. Once the materials are ready, I move to the effect settings and adjust the contrast and temperature of the scene. I adjust exposure value to change brightness of the scene. Next, I go to the render settings. Here I choose the image quality, the format, and the aspect ratio of the visualization. For example, the same ratio as in SketchUp. I start the render. The visualization is created. I spend only a few minutes on it and the result is quite satisfying. Maybe it's not fully photorealistic yet, but D5 Lite is not designed for that. It's a tool for creating very fast visualizations directly from SketchUp without the need to move into more advanced rendering settings. Once the visualization in D5 Lite is ready and the project has been approved by the client, we can move on to creating the final render in D5 Render. All the settings from D5 Lite are automatically transferred to D5 Render, so we can immediately continue working on the scene. First, I create a new scene. Let's start with the natural lighting. This light was not copied from D5 Lite, so I need to set it up again. I go to the HDRI tab and choose a map from my folder. To make the daylight work properly in the scene, I also assign the normal glass material to the window glass. Next, I adjust the HDRI lighting settings, where I can control the light intensity, the brightness of the background outside the window, and the rotation of the HDRI map. Now, I update the scene to save the changes. Then, I move on to the Effects tab. I turn auto exposure off so I can control the brightness of the scene. Finally, I update the scene again and save these changes. In the Object tab, we can see the artificial lights that were created in D5 Lite. I can ungroup them. I will start with the spotlights. In the settings, I load an IS file to change the shape of the lights. Then I adjust the intensity and cone angle and slightly rotate the light towards the cabinets. Now I move to the strip lights under the kitchen cabinets. I adjust the light intensity and move them slightly. Next, I hide the light icons to make it easier to edit the emissive material. I select the material picker and click the emissive material. Here I can slightly adjust the light intensity and color, which were copied from D5 Lite. The lighting is now ready, so it's time to work on the materials. I will start with the wall. The base color map is already applied. Now I add normal, specular and roughness maps to achieve a more realistic effect. I set the intensity of each map to 1. For the roughness slot, I load a glossiness map because that's the map I have. So in the settings, I enable the inverted option. This flips the glossiness map so it works correctly as a roughness map. In the UV settings, under stretch, I slightly increase the map scale so the wall texture details become more visible. For the gray cabinet fronts, I upload a stain texture into the roughness slot to increase the realism of the material. I set the map intensity to 1. If the stains are still not visible enough, I enable inverted in the settings. Then I reduce the specular value, which controls reflection intensity, and slightly lower the stains map intensity until the material looks natural. I apply the same map and similar reflection settings to the wooden cabinet fronts. For the molding, I use a ready-made material from the D5 Render library. I select black rough plastic and apply it to the molding, window frame and the ceiling lights. In the base color map, I slightly brighten the texture using the brightness parameter and I set base color to white. For the marble, I change the material template to car paint. This allows me to create stronger reflections by creating the clear coats parameter. For the faucet, I start with the rose gold material from the asset library and then change the base color to a yellow gold tone. I often use ready-made materials from the asset library and then adjust them to fit my needs. For the floor, the reflections are still not visible, so I enable the inverted option to make them more visible. Then I adjust the map intensity until the floor looks right. For the induction cooktop, I don't change anything, because the settings copied from D5 Lite already look good. For the oven, I apply a ready-made material from the library to the handle and slightly brighten the remaining materials so they look more natural. I copy the glass material from the window to the oven glass and then reduce the specular value. This gives a better result. Now it's time to round the edges of the models in the scene. In the material settings, I enable round corner and set the radius to about 3 to 5. With slightly rounded edges, light behaves much more naturally, which makes the render look more realistic. Finally, I add a few accessories to fill the scene. I use the asset library and add seasoning bottles and a pot on the induction cooktop. Now I move on to the camera settings. I set a 2-point perspective and adjust the field of view to around 50 degrees. In the Effects tab, I adjust the contrast, shadows, color temperature and vignette. Once everything is ready, I go to the render settings. I set the render resolution to 2K and add an AI channel, which allows me to enhance the render later using artificial intelligence. After a short wait, the visualization is ready. Next, I move on to AI post-production. By selecting specific models in the scene, I can enhance only those elements. If nothing is selected, AI will improve the entire image. Let's compare the difference. The visualization has been slightly enhanced. I think that both the original render and the AI enhanced render look very good. And that's how we created this kitchen project. First, we generated the concept using AI in D5 Lite. Then, we created a quick preview render using render mode in D5 Lite. And finally, we created a professional visualization in D5 Render. Let me know what you think about D5 Render and this new workflow. Thanks for watching, remember to subscribe to the channel and visit my website edac.org. You will find there the newest D5 Render visualization course. See you there, bye!